Welcome to Smokin' Mokes Barbecue. Today we're going to do an 18-pound brisket. Stay tuned for a good recipe.
Alright, well today we're doing a beef brisket. It's almost 18 pounds. So what we're going to do, I'll plop it on here, get it all trimmed up, and get it rubbed. And then we'll let it sit for a little bit while we get the fire going. And then we'll get it on. It's going to take 24 to 27 hours for this puppy to smoke, so it'll be ready in time for dinner tomorrow night. So what we want to do is we want to carve out some of this decal, get a bunch of this fat off of here, square it up really nice. This one's not very square, so we'll have to work on that. We'll just take the time to go through and trim this up and make it look nice. We're just eating this at home, so it's not, doesn't need to be competition style. And then what we're going to use for rub today is this Killer Hogs. So I love Killer Hogs, but I've never tried their brisket rub, so we're going to try that today, see how that goes. And the decal, if you don't know, is so the brisket's split up into two parts. You have the brisket flat, which is this portion here, and the point, which is this part underneath here. And they're separated by a really thick, gristly fat. It doesn't render well, and so we want to get, that out. Not completely, of course, because if you get it out completely, you'll actually separate them, and we want to do this as a whole packer brisket. So we don't want to separate the point from the flat. We just kind of want to carve it out a little bit and get it aerodynamic so the smoke can go over it well, and get as much of that decal out as we can without causing too many problems. So this one's, like I said, it's 18 pounds, but it's a choice brisket. Prime briskets where I'm at are a little hard to come by. Grocery stores only carry them at certain times, around Super Bowl, around the 4th of July. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking off all the fat off of the point. And like I said, this thicker half is the point. This half is the flat. The flat doesn't have a lot of intramuscular fat, so you want to leave that fat on top so it renders down and keeps it moist. The point, though, that's where the burn-ins come from, and it has tons of intramuscular fat, and so you can cut off everything from the top. That way, those burn-ins, you have that nice crust on there. And that's what's going to give us the nice crust, is taking off all this fat, letting the smoke get right to the meat. Make a little bit of char, and tastes amazing. What I like about doing it at home is that you get it fresh. The restaurants, if you're not there for lunch, if you're there for dinner, most of them are sitting on that brisket for 6-7 hours before it serves to you. With the leftovers is that I'm going to vacuum seal them with a food saver or whatever brand you have, and to heat it back up I use a sous vide, which they're cheap. You can get them for $70 on Amazon, and man, when you do that, it tastes like it just came off the smoker. Look at all that fat. There's almost an inch of fat there, so we'll cut that down a little bit. And we'll leave, a quarter inch, a half inch. We're just doing this at home, so it's not, doesn't have to be that perfect. They say quarter inch is perfect, but this isn't a competition brisket. We're just cooking it at home, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We can just do it, eye it out real quick, and make sure it's flat and aerodynamic. We'll get that smoke on it, and it'll be great. But we're all trimmed up here, so we're gonna get it rubbed up here. Set that off to the side. Haven't even opened this yet. Big shout out to two killer hogs. They just got into Walmart with their pork rub, and you have to go try that. It's a fantastic rub for pulled pork. But sadly, you know, it's just their pork rub. They don't have all their other stuff in Walmart yet. Hopefully that'll be coming once they see how well the pork rub sells. But it's got a bunch of other rubs. You know, if you haven't checked out his channel, HowToBBQRight, he's much better than me. But I'm better looking, so, you know, there's that. So we got a good solid coating on both sides and all around. We're gonna get the fire going here and let this sit, kind of get up to room temperature here. It's safe to do with beef, not safe to do with anything else. So we'll let this sit, let that rub get in there, let it heat up a little bit, and we'll get the fire going.
All right, now that we got the fire going, we got the brisket on the smoker, and this is where the waiting starts. So we're just going to start smoking and make sure the smoker stays a good 225, 250, and every couple hours we'll put some logs on the fire, and this is where the waiting starts. So.
And in case you were wondering what we were smoking on today, this is actually a custom built smoker that I built myself in my garage it took me about 2 months. But these are just some clips of how I did it, the process. You can kind of see why it's as ugly as it is. Don't make fun of me for my metalworking. It's my first go at it, but I really enjoyed it. She's not pretty, but she smokes good. I really like how it turned out.
Alright, so it's the next morning. We got the brisket off the smoker. Last night, in the middle of the night, we came out and we wrapped it in some butcher paper. After it hit 160, 170 degrees, we wrapped it in butcher paper, put it back on the smoker, let it finish cooking. It got all the smoke we wanted it to get, so we wrapped it in butcher paper, put it back on the smoker. Now it's done. We are going to put it in the old Yeti here and let it sit in the juices for a little bit. You know, it's still hot and it's still in that cooking process, so it's still a little bit firm. So we're going to put it in the Yeti here, and in a couple hours we'll slice it up, eat it for lunch today. It actually cooked a lot faster than we thought it would, but we'll eat it for lunch today, and we'll vacuum seal the rest and save it for later. So.
Alright, now that it's rested for a little bit, we're going to take it out of this butcher paper, cut it up, and take a taste. Alright, now that we got it out of the butcher paper, we're going to take a little bite here, cut it up, and take a little bite. So, we're going to start here in the corner, get a few slices going. Do that bin test, that pull test, make sure it's perfect. Oh man, and that tastes phenomenal. And that is great. Now we're going to take a little piece off of the burn ends here, see how those taste. Got myself a big old piece here. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but super moist, super delicious. Totally worth it. You got to try out this recipe. The Texas Brisket Rub from Killer Hogs is phenomenal. So you got to give that a go. This is just great. I'm going to cut the rest of this up. Hey, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. It's all the good stuff. Do it. Do it.